right this instant.
Okay.
Not because of coaching. I think David Blatt's going to do a fabulous job. Plus, they got LeBron. Any team with LeBron, I can't stand the guy, but any team with LeBron James on the court, you're guaranteed to have a guy that can put people in the places that they need to be, both defensively and offensively at all times. So from a coaching standpoint, I'm not even worried. Tyronn Lue has a lot of assistant coaching experience. Him being there with Blatt and concert with each other, I think it's a perfect pairing. My problem is going to be, how do these guys go about sharing the basketball? LeBron James, very unselfish player. Kevin Love, very unselfish player. Kyrie Irving, Deion Waiters, Tristan Thompson, not so much. And I could see a scenario now where Kyrie Irving is arguing with someone over shots. He just signed a big-time money deal in the offseason, a big-time $96 million extension. He's going to want his touches. He's not going to want to just be the guy that dishes passes to everybody. He's looking at that next big contract in 4 or 5 years. You know, Deion Waiters, he's up for an extension pretty soon. I want to say it's next season where they can start talking extension. No team with the right mindset is going to extend a player give him $12 million a season, which is probably what he's going to think that he's worth. It's one of those Gordon Hayward deals. No general manager in their right mind is going to give Deion Waiters that type of money if he's averaging less than 10 points a game, which is what I think he should average in order for them to be successful and be hoisting the trophy at the end of the season. So he's a problem. Tristan Thompson, the contract extension talks officially stalled. They don't know whether or not they're going to sign him before the season starts tomorrow. He's a question mark. Kyrie Irving, never cared for him coming out of Duke. I thought that he was a guy who probably should have stayed in college one more year. But if you're guaranteed the number one pick in the NBA draft, I can't fault you for leaving. That being said, I'm not sure whether or not he's a me guy or he's an us guy, so to speak. That team didn't do much with him as the head dog. He doesn't have to be the alpha dog anymore. LeBron James is there. But let's say LeBron James does to him as he did to several of his Miami Heat teammates. Most notably, Mario Chalmers. Kyrie Irving misses a rotation on defense. LeBron James chides him out for it. Kyrie Irving is a point guard. He has all-star credentials. He can say, well, you know, screw this. I'm going to go play one-on-one. It's me and Derrick Rose. We're going to go one-on-one. It was me and Rajon Rondo. And I'm going to go one-on-one. I will make my point and make my presence known. And that, in effect, could take that team not only out of a game, but out of the playoffs real quick.
Okay, well, I see your point, but I kind of disagree with you on that. I think if Deion Waiters and Kyrie Irving are going to be so selfish that's going to hold the team back, a team with this caliber back, then I'm not sure if they're the right kind of players that you want to be building around for a championship to begin with.
I agree with that.
And I think by committing that the huge contract to Kyrie, I think they're saying that this is the kind of guy that they believe can be the second or third banana on a championship team. Mm-hmm. And I think that Kyrie can do it. He excelled on Team USA, did really well on Team USA, and that obviously is just a loaded team with tons of other stars. Mm. And he was fairly unselfish there. And, I mean, the past, you were right. He hasn't had a lot of success when he's been there the past few years. But the other point on that is that team had horrible injury luck. The past few years, that was just almost unparalleled in the NBA. I think last year that they rolled the dice on Bynum, and they had all these other pieces. They made a desperation move for Luol Deng. And if they had been able to stay healthy last year,
you absolutely
if they would have stayed healthy last season, I think that team was too talented to not make it in the playoffs in the East last year. But unfortunately, they weren't able to, and the situation kind of became toxic there. So that kind of made it difficult for them to get in. And some of that, the situation becoming toxic and all that is on Kyrie's shoulders because he was the man there last season. And so, maybe he is kind of lacking in the leadership role a little bit. But now with LeBron there, Kevin Love, he doesn't have to be this huge figure for the team. Obviously, being the point guard, you're kind of the natural leader, but with LeBron James, the best player in the NBA, going to go down as one of the all-time greats, he is instantly the de facto leader of this team. And I just think that this team has too much talent not to figure it out. Talent has a way, I think, of kind of sorting its way out, even if it is in the way of itself. I think this team will just find a way due to the talent. I think, like you said, David Blatt's going to be a fantastic coach. I think that this team will end up, if they don't get the number one seed in the East, they'll be in the top two for sure, I think, and I think they'll end up coming out of the East.
I definitely got them too, and I got them at least in the Eastern Conference Finals. As all the teams stand now, I think one of the teams that they'll have trouble with, whichever team can avoid Washington. I think if the Bulls, who honestly, and I don't think this is without question, Bulls, Cavaliers, 1 and 2 in the East.
Yes.
With Washington trailing behind as number 3, and the dark horse being the Toronto Raptors, who are young enough and ignorant enough when most people don't even think that that's a good thing. I think ignorance, not knowing you're supposed to be eliminated or not in the playoffs and you're playing anyway, ignorance goes a long way. Ignorance is what helped Steph Curry and Klay Thompson grow up fast before our eyes. Ignorance is what helped certain players, certain superstars like a Michael Jordan, LeBron James. Ignorance of, I am not supposed to be in the finals playing against the San Antonio Spurs with this god-awful Cleveland Cavaliers team, but here I am. Why is that? Well, because I played my tail off. So I think the ignorance factor would help Charlotte a lot, but I don't think that they have enough. That Washington team, on the other hand, they have a combination of both. Them picking up Paul Pierce, arguably one of the shrewdest, most underrated free agency moves in all of the offseason. Paul Pierce's pedigree, he doesn't even have to play on the court no more than 25 minutes a game. Him being on the floor guarantees them getting the respect of the referees. It gives them a calming influence. It helps John Wall and Bradley Beal go through the growing pains. I think that him on that young squad, if they draw a team like the Cavaliers in the second round, that series could go 7. And I'm not just saying that because I'm an anti-LeBron guy. I'm saying that because all the makings are in place. I think if they take that same team and go up against the Bulls, they could eliminate the Bulls. It wouldn't even be a 7-game series because of that ignorance, because of that veteran presence. It all makes sense. The Toronto Raptors, like I said, that they have that ignorance. They're young. They're still learning how to play. Kyle Lowry, pretty good player. DeMar DeRozan, although we didn't see him play in the FIBA tournament too much, I guarantee you he's learned some things. He's learned how to be a pro, and he feels as though he's belonged. He has that ignorance now. Why not me? How come I can't be one of the top 15 players in the league? And if he takes that attitude and continues to develop his game, look out. Want to talk about...
Yeah. Oh.
We got about 5 minutes left. a little less than 5 minutes left. I want to hear what you have to say on that.
Okay, yeah. I want to touch on your point on Washington. I really like Washington's team, provided, like with all teams, they can stay healthy. The counterpoint a lot of people can make about it, though, is as big of a signing as Paul Pierce might be, is how much does he have left in the tank?
This is true.
He didn't look too great, last season at points. But I think there's something to be said that kind of goes beyond statistics, that this team, doesn't know really how to win, those postseason games. They kind of broke through last year a little bit. Mm-hmm. But Paul Pierce, he's a proven winner, and he's the kind of guy that can show Bradley Beal and John Wall a few things. And I think with him, he's a guy that can help them really push through and mature as players. The other point, like you said, is that they're really good as a team against not Miami, but Cleveland. Mm-hmm. And I completely agree with that, because Cleveland is lacking in the post defense department. I mean, they have Verja, who is an above-average post defender, but it's been a long time since he's had a healthy season. And if you think you're getting 82, if you think you're getting 82 healthy games out of him, and then including the playoffs too, I think you're joking with yourself.
Try 60 games tops.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I would assume Blatt's going to try to keep him healthy for the playoff run. This is the kind of team that's going to be, I think, monitoring minutes, because they have players that are up there in age, and so they need extra rest. But then your point, you said you thought you could see them taking Cleveland to 7. I agree that could happen, especially if Washington kind of adopts the bad boy mentality they've been talking about. Mm-hmm. Except what I disagree with you with is the Chicago part. You said you could imagine them beating Chicago. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of weird to think about it this way, because I don't think there's really a question that Cleveland has more talent than Chicago. It's just a matter of can they put it together. Right. But I don't think Washington's the kind of team that's going to be able to take down Chicago. Chicago matches up with them really, really well. I think in terms of like the whole grittiness, Chicago's right there with them step for step, probably even grittier. Where in Cleveland, you don't really see that. Some people are kind of painting them out to be a finesse team, and if Verja doesn't stay healthy, that's definitely a possibility. Mm-hmm. So I think Chicago in that situation actually is better off than Cleveland against Washington.
You kind of swam me a little bit, but I just, for me personally, it's watching that playoff series last season and not knowing whether or not Derrick Rose is going to be healthy. It's one of those, it's damn if they do, damn if they don't. I think the Paul Gasol signing, I think that was flawless. There's questions now about Joakim Noah's knees. Can his knees hold up? I think you can rest him for a little bit. Rest him early parts of the season, play him maybe 25 minutes a game up until Christmas Day. I think that will save him up tremendously. The emergence of Jimmy Butler as an offensive threat, if that happens, no team in the East can stop the Bulls, because now you have to pay attention to them. There's a couple of other things that I want to say, but I can't because we're running out of time. David, this has been great. We got to do this again. We got to get a schedule going, and I'm looking forward to it, man.
I am too. Quick, before we run out of time, though, give me your Eastern Conference pick, your Western Conference pick, and then who wins the finals.
I got Bulls Spurs. I'm going on a limb.
Okay.
What about you?
I got the Clippers and the Cavaliers.
I got the Spurs winning it.
And I have the Cavaliers winning it.
All right. That's what we have. You are listening to
I'm a free man.
The Outside Analysis NBA preview. Thanks for listening. Check us out on Spreaker, hopefully in other places.